Good morning, my darlings. Well, I am on my first day, my official first day, and what I'm doing right now is I am taking an empty trailer that I'm picking up from one of my company's drop yards, and I'm taking it up to one of our terminals where I'm picking up my truck, which is a brand new truck. I'm so excited, although that can be a mixed bag because these newer Freightliners, they rush them off the line and that can lead to a lot of issues. So fingers crossed we won't have any of those issues. Let's knock on wood while we're thinking of it. So what I'm picking up right now is, this is a trailer that is a heavy haul trailer. I've never hauled one of those before. So I came over here and I saw, you can't really see, I have it blurred in the background, but the back axle is like flipped up and it's actually secured by a chain and a, why can't I ever think of that word? A binder. A chain and a binder. So when I pulled over here and I saw this, I was like, oh, that looks weird. And my company had told me I was picking up a curtain side. The person I talked to earlier was mistaken. Well, it's one of these guys, and this is just the way it works. It has a third axle that flips up, and it can stay that way while it's driving, and both that one and the one in front of it that is actually showing to the back to whoever's behind me has its own set of brake lights and everything. So those lights are on as well. So I've never hauled one of these before. It'll be a little bit different. And of course, I'm already having a hard time with the landing gear is being a jerk, because you can kind of see that dirt around the landing gear. This thing's been sitting for a while, so it's a little stiff, but we're gonna get it moving and we're gonna get up the road and get ourselves in the nice new truck. And it's a sunny day and I'm not getting totally poured on and I'm not out in a thunderstorm, so I'll take it. I was just legit having a good laugh at my own expense, because I am sometimes just a doofus and it is what it is, and sometimes you have to laugh at yourself and you have to stay humble in trucking, because trucking will humble you if you're not already humble. So as it turns out, this style of trailer, the landing gear, I'm assuming it is on this style of trailer in general, unless it's a quirk with this individual trailer, which I highly doubt. The landing gear is the opposite. And I had gotten up under it and I'm like, why is there room between the fifth wheel and the apron? And I had checked it with the flashlight and the kingpin was locked in place, but there was a gap, and I was like, well, that's weird. And then I start noticing, as I'm doing the landing gear on low gear, because I can't get it to go into high gear, and I'm starting to notice, oh wait, this isn't a dusty gravel lot, so you can see right on the landing gear where the landing gear has gone upward by like that much. And I'm like, I seriously just stopped and started cracking up. And then I started going in the opposite direction. So for those of you who don't know, or if you're a new driver, the easy way to remember is when you're leaving, you're going the way the front of the truck is, you're cranking forward, and that's going to bring your landing gear up away from the ground. And when you're coming in, you're turning it back the other way. Well, this trailer, it's the opposite. So I just figured that out. The other thing is, I was realizing as I was looking at this, I'm like, oh yeah, you better slow your roll today and take those turns real wide, because the tandems on this type of a trailer are way the fuck in the back, and it's going to make for a very, very long wheelbase. I'm not sure how long the wheelbase is. That's something I would like to know. These are things that you would like to know ahead of time. Like, send me some notes. Hey, if you haven't hauled one of these trailers before, be mindful of XYZ, but I'm going to get it done. It's going to be fine. But let's just laugh at me for being a dumbass. Let's laugh. Good evening from my end of day. I'm delirious. I've just been like talking to myself because I'm in a weird mood. It feels kind of good. I'm in a happy mood because I love this truck. I love this truck. I feel so grateful to have a new truck with the new truck smell. It's so nice. That last truck, I didn't want to complain about it. It was a 2023 and it was a very nice truck, but that thing was stanky, and the APU didn't work all the time, and it was hot and just stuff. Anyway, I'm not gonna harp on it. My first day, I'm just so slow. I'm already thinking to myself, maybe I'm in over my head. There's a very good possibility that I am, and do I want to tarp? I don't know about all that. I'm starting to have some second thoughts. I do want to attempt to have the experience of doing some loads with like chains and tarps and stuff, but today I actually ended up having my first load. So they sent me to the terminal to pick up to switch trucks, do a truck swap, which took a while, because once I started moving things into my actual truck, instead of just throwing it all in there and then going and getting this load, which is what I really should have done, I was just taking so long. I started like getting into the groove of putting things away and like, you know, getting situated, and I still don't have a fridge in here, so it's kind of weird. I gotta grab Dirk's fridge out of my storage unit. Thanks, Dirk. You should watch my friend Dirk's channel, Dirk Trucks. It's so good. I'll make this a spammy side note, and I'm not just biased because Dirk is my friend and mentor and just an all-around great person, but his channel has such good content, and a lot of that is because he is much more tech savvy than I am. In fact, whatever tech I'm able to have in my truck totally has his hand in it. His videos, because he has, I think he said he has 6 cameras going now, which is wild, but he shows down the side, both sides of his trailer. He shows 2 different angles going out the front of the truck, which are very thoughtfully done so that he doesn't like give people motion sickness. Then a straightforward view, then an inside view from the passenger seat as if you're watching him. I think that's 5. I don't know. He's got a lot of cameras, and it's really cool because it shows a lot of different perspectives that most other channels would not be able to show, and he syncs it up beautifully and all that. So, and he does a really good job of talking in detail about just things that are useful to know or interesting if you're not a truck driver and you're curious about the world of truckers. So you should check out Dirk Trucks, D-I-R-K Dirk. He's cool. He's cool as hell. Anyway, and I have his fridge in my storage unit because he loaned it to me when I was working at this company before. And I love my truck, but it is really shitty that this company would spec out a brand new truck without a fridge. And also this mattress, I actually swapped it. Look how thin it is, and it's super hard. It's I swapped it because the one that was in the trailer in this one originally was one of those like spring, like you'd feel the metal springs in it, and this was in the truck that I was bringing for a swap. Both of them were still in plastic bags, so I switched them out real quick. So just my long story short, my short load long, because this securement job should have been super easy because they sent me for a curtain side. Dude, I somehow managed to make that shit take like 2 hours, and that was with help. I don't even know how to tell. I can't tell you how it took me that long. It took me so long. It was just like I started throwing the straps, and then they were getting twisted, and I realized I was throwing them wrong because the way that you strap on the curtain side trailers is totally different than what I've been doing, because it's different on different styles of trailers. It was like, oh my God, it should be quick and easy. This load should have been a quick one, but it took me forever. But thankfully, an angel made an appearance. Another person who works at my company. This dude is amazing. Such a nice guy. Hello, you know who you are. I don't know if you want me to say your name, so I'm not going to. But he was such a nice guy, and he was almost out of time on his 14, and he set a timer on his phone so he could take the rest of his time that he had available before our terminal's really close to where this pickup was, and it's all like drop and hook, and it's actually doors, picking up loads of doors. He was awesome, and he helped me out so much. He gave me all these good pointers because I was struggling with everything. Like, I was struggling with how to open the curtains on the curtain side because we barely did anything with curtain side in training, and the training itself was a whole thing. Anyway, so it took me forever, and I actually ended up using the sleeper berth split, which apparently our company has not allowed until recently. It's so dumb, guys. Just things take a long time sometimes. Just give people time. Why add stress to your drivers when you don't need to? There was some back and forth with the company as to whether I could use the split, and I was like, well, if I can't, then I'm going to have to wait until the morning and go grab the load then, because I'm going to be too tight on time. So I ended up making a call and sort of getting it approved enough to where I felt like I could explain it to safety. And if they went back, and all of our calls are recorded, so if they went back and listened to it, they probably would be like, okay, we can see how you might have thought it was okay. If they don't, I think it will be, hopefully. I don't have a fridge in here, so I had some stuff refrigerated in the hotel that I'm still like going to use as much as I can before I have to toss it. But I love these things. This brand, Annie Chun's, they're like these Asian noodle bowls, and they're great because I usually try to keep 1 or 2 in my little dry food pantry. And since I don't have a refrigerator right now, but I do have my microwave hooked up, I just have to heat up some water, and it'll have like a little packet of freeze-dried veggies in it and a little sauce packet, and you just pour everything together and let it steep for like 90 seconds and stir it up, and it's so good. And then I also have some chicken sausage I really like this brand. I get these all the time. Chicken sausage that's individually wrapped is a good thing to have in the truck because you can like make simple meals with it. I also have like par cooked rice, bags of like jasmine rice and maybe some seasoned jasmine rice. That same thing, you can just nuke it up. You can throw some of the sausage in there, just slice it up. I have one sharp knife that I have, a paring knife. And then this is some very wilted arugula that was left. I had too much left over from my fridge in the hotel room. But I'm just gonna throw some of the arugula in there when after I heat the water up and mix it all together, so it'll kind of wilt in there and add a little spice and a little nutrition and a little fiber. I like to throw together little simple meals like that. Ordinarily, I would add chili garlic sauce, and I just ran out, so I have to buy some more. So that's my long day. Oh, it's 10:16. It is way too late right now. I'm so tired, but first day's back and getting into a new truck, that's how it's going to be. It is what it is. But yeah, after my conversation with the guy from my company who was truly an angel, that's part of what made me think maybe I should reconsider doing curtain side, because it pays slightly less, but what he said is he actually has done both accounts and he makes more doing curtain side because you spend so much less time because you're not tarping. And tarping in the winter sounds like an actual nightmare. So anyway, I need to eat some food and I'm gonna watch some Netflix, and I'll tell you what I'm watching next time because this video is long enough. I'll talk to you guys later. I mean, look at this. So shiny. Everything is nice and shiny. So nice. We love a new truck. I can't tell you how cool it is to have a brand new truck. Like everything, even look at how clean these lines are. It's really wild. Everything is super shiny. All the, all the hubcaps, everything is completely, the rims, it's like completely shiny and completely clean. And it's kind of nice because you know that literally anything that happens that makes the truck dirty or different in some way, you're responsible for, which is probably a mixed bag. But one of the things that I haven't mentioned before, but I think is kind of interesting, and I wonder if other Freightliner drivers notice this, is that inside the bumper, and it's always on the passenger side, I've noticed this, but there's a crack that develops on the inside of the bumper every time, and it gets worse over time, and you always notice it. The last truck I had, the bumper was designed to go all the way to the ground pretty much. It was super low. On these trucks, the bumper doesn't go all the way to the ground. There's like a foot of clearance, which is nice. If you pull up to something and you get a little close to it, you're not going to worry about scraping your bumper, and so it also is not a full curb sniffer, for those of you who get the reference. All right, guys, I'm taking like 2 seconds to film because I'm in a spot where I'm kind of in the way, but I'm okay. I just had to move this curtain side trailer into the tightest lot. And then I'm not sure if I went in the wrong lot at first or if it's just that the guy that was unloading me, he said it was his first day, and I'm like, well, it's kind of my first day too. So we'll get through this together. And it was good that he was a little slower because it took the pressure off of me to get the curtains open up and everything. It was a lot easier this time than it was when I was dealing with it at our terminal where the wind was blowing like crazy and I could not get the curtains latched. So I got better with those already. Well, now I'm on to my next challenge, which is honestly very scary to me, and I'm just gonna say all of my positive affirmation to myself that I can muster, which is I'm going to go to our terminal, switch out for an actual flatbed trailer, a regular flatbed, and I'm going to pick up a load of coils. Coils scare me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna talk to my fleet manager on my way and review some things and just make sure I feel like I'm ready for it. But we're gonna knock it out. We're gonna get it done. No matter how long it takes or how awkward I feel, this is why I'm doing this, because I wanted the challenge. So let me put my money where my mouth is, or my effort. Wish me luck, y'all. This is me right now. We're throwing straps, we're sweating balls, and we're loving every minute of it. Am I gonna secure these correctly? Yes, I am. How long is it gonna take me? I don't know. I'm sweating my ass off, and it's a little bit like cumbersome, but it's not that bad. We're getting it done. Don't have to deal with chains because I got me a curtain side right now. So let's get this done. You know that meme of the little girl? I think it's a little girl doing all the math calculations. That's me trying to figure out how and where exactly to situate all of these to fit in the 12 winches that I have here, which is exactly the number that I need to use. Hello, people. Oh man, I am so sweaty. I'm in Wisconsin right now, and I'm glad I'm north of Chicago at least, because it's such a heat wave down there right now. I said it was a high of 115 with the heat index. Here it's in the 90s with the heat index. But I just got done. I need to drink water. I need more cold drinks in my truck. I just am not as well prepared as I have been in previous times, because I was just in such a rush this weekend to get all of my stuff into my truck, and like there just wasn't enough time to do everything. And then I found out today, pretty disappointing, that for some reason they delay the pay that you would receive for the second week of training, which was securement training. So on top of that being less per day than what we would have been paid for the training that we would do with like a local flatbed driver, they had sorry, I'm out of it. This heat really messes up my brain. So when I first talked to my recruiter, she was all gung-ho, like, oh yeah, you're going to be able to work with a local flatbed driver, and they're going to let you like do all the securement, and they're going to supervise you, and you know, it's going to be at least 3 days, but if you want to do more, or if they think you need more, then you know, you can do longer. None of that turned out to be the case. And this is one of those cases where I think that I don't know. I don't want to say that recruiters are always lying, like straight up intentionally lying, but I think a lot of times they just say what they know you want to hear so that you'll sign up. I would have done this either way, I think, but it made me feel much more reassured to think that I was going to have that type of experience. But that's not a thing at all. I talked with one of my fellow trainees who was in the securement class, and he's a new CDL driver, so I think he has to go out with a trainer no matter what, but they sent him out with a local van driver. And it's like, no offense, van drivers, it's not like they can't teach things to any new driver. Of course, like, new drivers are going to benefit from experienced driver experience, we hope, if the experienced driver is a good driver. Say experience again. Anyway, van, speaking as someone who knows, van and flatbed are like on other sides of the planet from each other. You need someone who knows about securement. And also, like, I'm so lucky that I ran across this really cool other driver the other night, because we've stayed in touch, and he is a gold mine. It's just so nice to be able to talk to somebody who knows things, who's done it for a while, and have your fear or anxiety sort of dissuaded. Like, I'm already not sleeping great because I'm anxious, and that's just my brain does that to me. I was very anxious about traveling with this load of coils. I was feeling paranoid about whether or not I secured it enough, and it's like, you know, they had me use 14 straps. I had to use portable, or whatever they call them, like, I can't think of the right word, but the winches I just want to call them winches, the winches that you can move around, portable. Is that what I just said? I don't know, man. My brain is toast when it's hot like this. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness for good AC. I've got it going right now. I probably could turn it up a little bit higher. Let's see. I closed the curtain part of the way just to shield the sun. I should close the whole thing because it really does help to cut the heat. But anyway, this other driver helped me a lot, and he's a curtain side driver who's also done flatbed. And one of the things he said that was really helpful is just that, like, different drivers learn different tricks, and not everybody's going to do everything the same way. My load made it here safe. Nothing shifted. It was as secure as it needed to be. I still really need to get a add-on to my winch, my regular winch bar, because it's a short bar. I need something longer and heavier to give me that added leverage. That really would help me out. So I got to figure out where to get one of those. But I'm sitting here and I was stressing the whole time. I was trying to, I'll take a video one of these days when I'm a little more settled into what I'm doing, but I undid all of the winch straps. There were two that were started from the opposite side of the trailer because of the portable winches. Those of you who do this know what that means. The rest of you don't, sorry. So there were 12 straps that were rolled up in winches on the driver's side, 2 that were rolled up on the passenger side, and you have to like untighten those, loosen them up, pull them out from the one side, then go to the other side, pull them out, then you got to roll them up. And one thing I really need is they make these tools that roll up the straps, like you just feed it through and go like that and crank it and it rolls it right up. I need to get one of those because it saves a ton of time. So I just hand rolled 14 straps. Meanwhile, there's trucks piling up ahead of me, and in the driver's notes for this location, it said that it's a super quick in and out. And those, mind you, were flatbed drivers that said that, but they still have to undo a bunch of straps and also a tarp and roll a tarp. So they have a lot of things that take time too. Like undoing the curtain sides, it's cumbersome, and redoing it. I'm still sitting here waiting to get unloaded, and they're like 3 Conestogas ahead of me. Smarter people would be in a Conestoga because it's, I mean, my company, I think they have a couple, but I'm going to be running curtain side. I decided for the short term at least, just until I get more efficient, because I'm too slow to have the added time requirement of tarping. I'm not doing it right now. I just am like, I won't drive at all. I won't get anything done because I'm so slow. It's like, it's torture for me and probably anyone who's waiting on me. But I'm sitting here and I see 3 more Conestogas waiting in line, and I'm like, oh no, like, you know, some of these steel places have really strict rules. So I'm like, what if, you know, the rules here that I have to have all the straps, everything out of the way, and I have to be in my truck before they'll unload, because sometimes like there's OSHA restrictions where they won't let you do that, you can't physically go inside the building and stuff like that. I love the way these tattoos look at this angle. I love those tattoos. Sorry. I don't normally talk about it, but I do. And then I finally saw an employee come on. I was like, maybe they're on lunch, you know, it's around that time of day. He came out and I was like, excuse me. I was like, am I doing something that's keeping them from unloading me? Because no one's come out yet. And he's like, no. He's like, technically from the time a truck pulls up, they have 4 hours. I was like, oh, okay. So I might be sitting here for a while. So that's fine. I honestly don't mind that much. I do and I don't, because the downside of that is they're going to probably send me, I need to look, I think they're going to send me straight to another pickup. I hope that's first thing in the morning, and I'm just driving somewhere for the rest of the day, and then I can take a nice shower and on the way stop at a truck stop and get some nice cold drinks. I really wish that some of those like energy drink type of drinks were not sweet. Like I like a drink that's mildly sweet and a little bit salty, like a nice balance, some tang. Normally I don't drink any type of energy drinks other than coffee. I don't drink like Gatorade and stuff like that. It doesn't agree with me, and it's just the amount of sugar in those is crazy. So Gatorade though put out a drink now that is made with natural sweeteners, arguably better. That's a whole other thing. But it's got electrolytes and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? When it's this hot, it's probably not a bad idea when you're sweating that much to replace some of your electrolyte loss. And because I'm busy and I'm not probably eating quite as much as I could or whatever, I'm eating a bunch of fruit. But they're so sweet, and it's like the artificial sweetener flavor, or it's like a natural, it's like stevia or something like that, you know. But it's like, why do you guys have to make everything so sweet? And I think when you're a person who doesn't eat as much like super processed sugary food, when you have something like that, it's like, whoa, this is way too much. Anyway, what else do I want to tell you guys? I just wanted to say the last 2 videos you will have seen, hopefully I'll have this, I'm not sure which video this will go in, maybe it'll be the 3rd one. I'm trying, really, I need to catch up, but the ones I feel like the vlogs about training are so boring, and I'm really sorry. It's just like not that interesting. I personally think videos are way more interesting when they have some types of action shots in them. So when I can, I'll start showing you guys, like I'll make videos of me doing securement and speed them up and put them against music or something, you know. I'll try to make them interesting, and so you can see what I actually do, because just hearing someone talk about it is a lot less interesting. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I'm talking fast because I'm trying not to make this video a million years long, and hopefully I will get out of here soon, because if I wasn't in a place where someone might knock on my window at any time, I would already be in the middle of changing clothes and doing a full wipe down. Yeah, the midday shower is what we're going to be doing this summer in these balmy temps we got going. So I'll catch you guys later.